Hey there, this is Beth Parrish with Inspired Riding. I'm a remote coach and certified riding instructor. I specialize in helping equestrians find their mojo so they can feel safe, confident, and connected with their horses. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to have a heart-to-heart connection with your horse so you can actually begin to hear their thoughts. Have you ever had a time where your horses were trying to tell you something and you were just amazed at how clear it was? I have this pony named George, and he walked right up to our brush box, picked up with his teeth a hoof pick, and placed it right down by my feet. Sure enough, I go to look at his hooves, and he had a huge rock in there. It was amazing. I was like, okay, George, I am getting this rock out for you. So another time was my wonderful little schoolmaster, this Arabian that I worked with for many years. His name is Biffy, and he was so tuned in that if, let's say, a little child that I was teaching was on the lunge line and she lost a stirrup on the other side that I couldn't see, he would just stop and then just kind of motion to the other side. And I would look around, and sure enough, the stirrup was out. So then I'd have a discussion with the student. Okay, if you lose your stirrup, you got to let me know. So that was pretty amazing. He's just like, okay, kid, get it together. We got to have you balanced. Another one with Biffy, which I thought was so cute. It was a really, really hot day, and there were a lot of flies. And I had left the fly spray right in the middle of the arena. And he brought his student over to the fly spray, nosed it, and then nosed his stomach. Like, I want this here. So it's amazing when you get this relationship with these horses and how they will just tell you so clearly. But for this podcast, I really want to show you what it's like to actually tune in telepathically. And it's actually a little easier than you can imagine. And if you've never done it before, just give it a go and see what happens. But I'll break it down for you pretty simply in just a moment. And just know that a lot of people think that this is just for certain people and you have a special gift. While it can come easier for some people, I really believe that anyone can do this with enough practice. It just comes down to what you will allow yourself to believe in. So here you go. Here's where you can get to play with conversing with your horse on a deeper level, on a heart level. Animal communication involves connecting to your heart and then to your horse's heart. Once you find that connection, entire conversations can begin to unfold. It's easier and more possible than you realize. If you can get to a state of being present, then focusing on your heart center is the next step. Take deep, slow breaths and allow yourself to get into a meditative state. Once you're there, focus on breathing into your heart center. Imagine it's expanding and connecting to your horse's heart center. And then what I like to do, expanding on that, is I imagine I'm seeing colors kind of intertwining between my heart and the horse's heart. And then once you feel like you've got this connection solid, then you simply ask, are you willing to chat with me? And then you just wait. And then you can see, if you notice, whether you get images, sounds, feelings, very much like the last podcast I mentioned, where you're going to have a different way of tuning in depending on which senses are stronger for you. So some people hear things, some people see things, some people feel things, and it just depends on the person. So for me, I see things and I feel things. So usually when I start talking with a horse, I'll see images that they send me, and then I'll get the feeling of what they're feeling. So if they're like sore in the neck, I'll start feeling that in my neck. It's pretty amazing. So it will take some practice, and it might actually be kind of fun for you to have some friends to try this to compare answers. My first confirmation came when I had two other friends ask my horse what his favorite color was. This was Biffy again. We all came up with the same obscure color, lime green. Now, I'm more of a navy blue or hunter green type girl, so I would never in a million years have chosen lime green for my horse. So we ended up getting him a halter and a saddle pad in that color, and he seemed so proud of himself. He was like, walking around like he was so snazzy. It was hilarious. And of course, he was a chestnut, and he had the beautiful flaxen mane and tail, the blonde in him, and he just looked so stylish. So it was pretty neat to be able to do that for him and get that confirmation from my friends too. So just be open to amazing possibilities and insights with your conversations. Once you begin to get more connected on a heart level, your riding will also improve. You'll be able to sense what your horse would like from you. Talk about having an edge for learning. A thought will happen, and eventually you won't know if it's yours or your horse's thoughts. This happens to me a lot. That's when you know things are starting to really line up. Have fun with it, and remember not to get frustrated if the connection doesn't happen right away. Just giving it a go will certainly shift your relationship with your horse. I'm quite sure your horse will appreciate your extra effort in attempting to connect. This requires your full presence, which is a huge gift for your horse. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and feel free to reach out. My website is inspiredriding.com, and you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/inspiredriding. And may the horse be with you, always.
Catherine here from Horse World Connect. I hope you enjoy listening to our equine experts and interviews from horse-related business owners. Be sure to click on the next one to learn from or about a business you might not have heard of yet. On that same note, be sure to check out horseworldconnect.com to subscribe for giveaway updates from businesses in our online directory and to learn about valuable products and services for you and your horse. We look forward to connecting with you on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, or back here for new weekly podcasts. Horse World Connect, directory, podcast, community.